Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How is everyone? I hope everyone is okay. Well, we move on with another topic. This is organizational communication. Well, when we talk about organizational communication, actually, what are we talking about? We are talking about communication that takes place within the context of an organization. So what does it mean? It means that organizational communication is the way in which groups of people maintain structure and order through their symbolic interactions and allow individual actors the freedom to accomplish their goals. Meaning that we have a lot of people, we have a group of people in one organization, and everyone maintain structure and order. That means in that organization they have structure and they have order, and everyone in that organization maintains the structure and order. How do they maintain it? They use symbolic interactions. Symbolic interactions, like we have studied before, is the verbal and non-verbal communication. So they use that verbal and non-verbal communication to maintain the structure and order so that they can accomplish their goals. In this case, everyone in the organization has the freedom, to do what they want to do, but at the end of the day, they must accomplish the goals of the organization. So let's move on with what is structuration. Okay, structuration is the process of forming and maintain structures through verbal and non-verbal communication, which establishes norms and rules governing members' behaviors. That means when we are in an organization, we have to form and maintain structures through our verbal and non-verbal communication. So that means we have, in any organization, they have norms and also rules, and the norms and rules will govern the members' behavior. For instance, UNIMAS is an organization, UITM is an organization, Swinburne University is also an organization, but if we look at it carefully, every organization is different from each other. Their rules, their norms, there are some similarities but also some differences, because every organization has its own norms and rules, and everyone in that organization uh, keeps or abides with that norms and rules. Yeah, for instance, you as a university, as a UNIMAS student, you abide to the norms and rules of UNIMAS, right? Okay, so we know about organization communication, we know about structuration. Let's look at why should we learn about organizational communication. Firstly, so that we can ask informed questions about everyday business practices. I'm sure every one of you intends to get a good job in any organization. Yeah, so when we learn about organizational communication, at least we know what's going on in the organization. Also, we learn about organizational communication because we can develop communication skills that improve our ability to succeed in the workplace. When we know about organizational communication, at least we have some ideas. At least we know how we can use our communication skills that can improve our ability to succeed in the workplace. So to be successful in the workplace, it's not only about your effort but also your skills, especially your communication skills that you show, to everyone in that organization. And of course, when we learn about organizational communication to improve the quality of work life, we have to understand, previously in interpersonal communication, we have looked at verbal, non-verbal, listening. All those are skills. We also have looked at group communication. That information can enrich us with knowledge and skills so that we can improve the quality of work life, because it's not easy to work in group, it's not easy to be in an organization for a long time. So to keep you there, to keep you there in that organization, or to make you improve in that organization, is the knowledge and skills that you have. So knowing organizational communication, at least they can improve the quality of your work life. Okay, let's move on with the types of organizations. This is the knowledge that we know. When we talk about organization, we know what organization is, but maybe we never realize that there are different types of organizations. Let's look at it now. First, we have economic orientations. That means there are organizations out there which are the economic orientation, meaning that their business are about economic orientation, mostly about products, services. Yeah, for instance, we are talking about banking services. We are talking about, for instance, postal services. So you see how they work. They might not be the same with other organizations because their orientation is the economic orientations, which produce products or provide services. Another types of organization is political orientation. Political orientation organizations generate and distribute power and control. Okay, what can you think? Some of the examples of political orientation organizations. Okay, maybe you have in mind about, for instance, in Malaysia, in the context of Malaysia, we have Suhakam, or maybe SPRM, or maybe we have, those are some examples of the organizations, yeah, with political orientations, which means they generate and distribute power and control. So you see, it's different from the economic orientation, yeah, where the orientation of the political orientation generate and distribute power and control, whereas the economic orientation is more concerned about producing products or providing services. All right. Another types of organization is integration orientation, which means these organizations mediate and resolve discords. For instance, in Malaysia, uh, we can see organizations like Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, the tax, yeah, mediate between people to pay tax to the government, or maybe also police, police force. Those are the organizations that mediate between the community and the government, and this organization also might help them, maybe resolve some problems, yeah, from that experienced by the community, the society, and how they extend that, or they try to 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 forward the problems to the government, and the government try to help them out. Okay, that is integration orientation. And last but not least is the pattern maintenance orientation. These type of organizations promote cultural and educational regularity. For instance, if we can relate to our country, the Malaysian context, we do have the KBS, Kementerian Belia dan Sukan, or Youth and Sports Ministry, where they promote cultural and educational regularity, or we have a Ministry of Education. So this to regulate, because we know we have thousands of schools, yeah, in Malaysia. We have hundreds, or maybe we have more than 20 uh, university awam, yeah, public universities in Malaysia. So who regulate these universities, or who regulate these institutions? Definitely the organizations which are more to the pattern maintenance orientation. So if you look at the types of organizations, knowing different types of organizations, at least you have some ideas of how these, yeah, orientations operate, uh, and they operate differently based on their own orientation. At the end of the day, organizations uh, these organizations are run, or powered by people, a group of people who shared the same goals. We move on to another part after this.